Hey guys, how's it going? This is Rob from FlamingShutterPhotography.com, and just wanted to do a quick review here, or a comparison between two lenses. Um, just a little quick run through of what I'm doing. I used to be a long time Canon shooter, and I used to have a whole bunch of different Canon camera bodies for my photography. But I've recently made the change for Nikon, and I've been looking for prime lenses to be used on my Nikon D7000. And I've been looking at different primes to see kind of what's the best bang for your buck kind of lens, kind of walk around lens to use for the D7000 crop sensor camera, and come across a couple of different options that I can go with. I noticed that on the Canon side, they've been using adapters, and I had been using adapters for M42 lenses, middle-loaded lenses, a whole bunch of different kinds of lenses to extend the lens library for my Canons. But recently I've noticed that they've been adding more and more adapters for Nikon, which has been a good thing because right now I just had the just the kit lens, the what is it, 18 to 105 VR lens, and it was good. But I do a lot of low light photography, and 50 millimeter lens was ideal. So I got a little adapter for M42 lenses, and I've been seeing that a lot of people were raving about the Super Takumar, excuse me, 50 millimeter 1.4 lens, and that's what the picture is right here. It's not the SMC version, but which is the super multi-coated version, but it was in very good condition. This is not a picture of my lens, but it's just one I found online. So you can see kind of what the lens looks like. And actually today I just got a 50 millimeter 1.8 D lens from Nikon, and just bought it today off a guy for $100. And the Super Takumar, I got it on eBay for a little bit over 60. So I wanted to see what the performance was. Of course, the Super Takumar is going to be manual focus only, and the Nikon is going to have autofocus. However, to be fair, I wanted to check the optics of the lens, not really the autofocus. And what I wanted to see was how well the glass works and how well it performs. So I'm using only manual focus on both lenses, and I got Adobe Lightroom here, straight out of the camera, raw. Haven't done any changes to any of them, and just wanted to give you guys a quick run through of what you'll get with these lenses. Starting off first, this is a shot of the side of a chair where my computer's at, and using the Nikon 1.8D. I'm just going to call it the D lens for short. And as you can see, the bokeh is very creamy in the background. Blurs out very well. It's not completely in focus, and I've noticed that the D lens is actually kind of hard to focus manually. I've been using the Takumar for a while now, and I've used manual focus lenses before, so maybe it's just I'm not used to the focus ring on the Nikon, but same settings, same everything, and I just kind of had a little bit of a harder time. I had to take a few shots for this, but overall, not bad. This is now using the 1.4 Takumar, and as you can see, the bokeh is also very creamy, but a little bit more pleasing bokeh. You can see the bokeh balls right there. It can be pleasing to the eye, it cannot be pleasing to the eye depending on the situation, but in certain situations there are a lot more round on the 1.4 lens, and I got it to focus a little bit easier. Now using the 1.4 Takumar, settings were at ISO 200, 1/60th of a second, and this is at 1.4. And one thing that you got to know, guys, if you don't shoot at 1.4 manually, it's very hard to focus. 1.4 is a very narrow, shallow depth of field, so getting that focus spot on is going to be very, very hard. So it's ideal for like portraits, maybe Mainly I used it for portraits. I'm not too sure. Uh, Maybe some experimental shots here and there, but you're not going to use that for landscape or any sort of thing like that. So um, know that it's going to be tough focusing at 1.4, but you can see you do get kind of a dreamy halo effect, and it can be pleasing sometimes. It can be flattering in portraits, but if you're doing product shots, if you're doing certain different architecture design things like that, it's not that great. But that's only at 1.4. So looking at it now, I changed the aperture on the 1.4 lens, so now it's at 1.8. Still the Super Takumar, same ISO 200, shutter speed 1/60th of a second, manual focus. You can see it got a little sharper. It is tough to focus. Like I said, I'm doing this handheld, and I know I'm going beyond the holding rule for handheld uh, times, but I just want to give you guys a uh, real world experience of what you're gonna get trying to get it to shoot some shots handheld. So it is kind of blurry, as you can see right there, but at a little bit better lighting, you may be able to see it a little bit better. So moving the focus, oh, I'm sorry, no, the moving the ISO up as well as the shutter speed. Now still at 1.8, ISO is now at 3200, shutter speed 1/200th of a second, and you're gonna see it's a little bit more overexposed, and I mean that's a good thing when you're doing low light photography. So you want to obviously get the best lighting you can. So it performs rather well for a $60 manual focus lens, and it's somewhat a little bit more focused. And moving the focus, I'm sorry, the aperture up to f4, ISO still at 3200, shutter speed 1/200th of a second, and I don't know why this happened. This is really weird. I've never had that happen on any of my shots with the Super Takumar. I've had it longer, about 2 months now, and this weird purple line came through. So anyway, at f4, very, very sharp, and it came out very nice considering the lighting sources and that it's manual focus. So now looking at the D lens, at 1.8, ISO 200 and 1/60th of a second, I had a hard time shooting this object. I don't know why. I took about maybe 8 shots, and I mean same thing with the 1.4, but I think I had a little bit of a harder time using the Nikon lens. Like I said, I don't know if it's the ring or maybe I'm just not used to it. There's another shot at 1.8. You do see a little bit of purple color fringing, but that now can be easily taken care of in Lightroom. Now at 1.8, ISO 3200, shutter speed 1/200th of a second. Very overexposed. That's good because you want to drop down your ISO. So if you can drop it down a few more notches, that's good. But for this test, performed rather well. Color fringing again, quite a bit more than on the 1.4 lens on the Takumar, but overall, very well done. A lot of loss of detail on the Super Takumar, but it's just the way it is. And finally, on the D lens at f4, ISO 3200, shutter speed 1/200th of a second. Much sharper. You lose a lot of the color fringing at f4. Not bad. So, anyway, just wanted to do this comparison for you guys. I know there's not a lot of Nikon shooters that are using M42 lenses. I have really enjoyed using them. I don't plan on, selling them or anything, because I'll get maybe a few bucks here and there, but overall they've been pretty good. They're not gonna always do better than an autofocus lens in all situations, but if you do a lot of low light photography, you know that autofocus doesn't always behave the way you want it to behave, and you're going to be in manual focus more than 75% of the time if you're doing real low light shooting. So I hope this helps you out. If you have any questions or if you'd like to see more photos, please let me know. And if you want to subscribe, you can. I don't post videos that often, but I'm going to try to. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a great night.